Hello everyone, I'm Shannon Slatton in Plymouth. Every day our news team is out in your community bringing you news and information from the place that you call home. Here's a look at today's stories. And remember, you can always find more on our website, ccxmedia.org.
Start the dust collector.
For Dave Steinman and his son Michael, nothing beats working side by side.
Swivel that drum sander like a quarter turn around.
Especially when they share the same hobby.
Mike and I are kind of the technical side of the family.
This year, the father and son duo decided to take a leap of faith. Amid a pandemic, they turned their hobby into a business.
It actually started from a previous business that we own, Missing Pieces Escape Games. We started building out all of the rooms and doing all the design work and all of the furniture and layout for that. And from there, we actually started doing custom work for other people as well.
They started Iron Roots Woodworks, customizing anything from tables, desks, and shelving units. The Brooklyn Park-based business can pretty much do it all.
The customer gets to be able to make choices. So whether that's a choice of wood, we do a lot of work in walnut and in hickory and maple. So they get an idea of what matches up with their current design motif in their house, if you will.
Dave takes care of the heavy duties, sawing, jointing, and planing.
This is called a Dymaxion globe, actually.
Michael is behind the intricate elements, using lasers and drawing out designs on the computer.
Yeah, so this is all drawn up.
The young CEO admitted it was a little nerve-wracking opening during a time of uncertainty. But to his surprise, business grew quickly.
In March, COVID really hit, and we thought we might be in trouble, and it turns out that with everybody working from home, we actually probably got more work from that rather than less. So I think it helped a lot, actually.
Michael says COVID has more families in search of customized workspaces to prevent neck and wrist strains.
You really want to make sure that you've got something custom made that's going to fit you and what you need to use it for.
Here, go your way.
And while one project could take days to craft perfectly, the duo says nothing beats having a one-of-a-kind furniture. In Brooklyn Park, Pafu Yang, CCX News.
Kind of feels like you have a little taste of home, and it just kind of warms your soul.
By definition, food is something you consume to provide your body with energy. But sometimes,
cabbage and the yams.
Food can also be a source of comfort.
Everybody loves soul food. It's different. It's different from all the foods that's around here.
Dwayne Rogers is the owner of Angelea's Soul Food Kitchen in Brooklyn Park. The restaurant specializes in favorites such as jerk chicken, mac and cheese, turkey legs, and fried fish, just to name a few.
When I got online and I saw the pictures and saw the menu, I said, oh my goodness, this is what we need, a soul food restaurant. We don't have one.
Rogers and his sister opened this soul food restaurant this past January in honor of their mother, Angelea, who died in 2017 but had dreams of owning a restaurant.
We just named it after her because it's supposed to be hers. So Angelea Soul Food, that's what we came up with.
Rogers not only uses his mother's name, but her old family recipes to satisfy the cravings of everyone who stops in.
We grew up eating this food from our grandmother, our mother, other relatives that cooked soul food.
The COVID-19 pandemic has been tough on the restaurant industry, but Rogers says that hasn't been the case here. Since opening at the start of the year, the community has been supportive.
People still wanted to eat. Just like y'all still gotta eat, I gotta eat, we still gotta eat. What we gonna do, not eat? You gotta eat.
It helps that they serve big portions of food that people can easily bring home to enjoy.
With the COVID situation, it's just like, I'm thankful, we're blessed that we're still going.
The restaurant's growing customer base shares the sentiment.
You can't find it often out here, so when I saw it, I was like, today is a good day.
Now, I was not going to walk away empty-handed. Here I have the turkey legs smothered in barbecue sauce with sides of cabbage, macaroni and cheese, and cornbread. I am going to enjoy this. In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
So here's the MCTA Garden.
The Maranatha Christian Academy Garden looks like a fall postcard. Pumpkins and other gourds are sprinkled throughout the outdoor learning space.
That's okay. Twist. Perfect, you got it.
Each grade has a plot.
This is our second grade plot here.
Students get hands-on learning experience caring for a variety of fruits and vegetables.
This is our cucumber trellis. So this is the second year we've done a cucumber trellis, which is kind of fun because the kids can go under and they can find the cucumbers.
Because of COVID-19 and quarantine this spring, teachers did the planting using mostly seeds.
So this is our vining area. These were all grown by seed. So either I saved them from a previous pumpkin or I bought them. But it was fun for the kids to see. We have different kinds of squash, butternut squash.
The environmental educational tool also gives students lessons in other subjects like math and art.
We have all subjects that come out here because our art teachers will even bring out their students to do drawings. And they'll sit and just focus on a leaf and do a leaf sketch.
For many students, growing a garden is a new learning experience.
All their fruits and vegetables are so good.
For them to come out here, to be in the outdoors, to not be in front of a computer or a TV screen, that they're out in God's world and experiencing just how things grow.
And there's a lot of leaves in it, and it's outside, and I love outside.
This is the 5th year for the garden. The school got a small grant for an environmentally friendly watering system. In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Find more local news stories at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.
The fall high school sports season got a little more crowded this week when high school volleyball and football were given the green light to play games starting in October.
Maple Grove head football coach Matt Lombardi delivered good news to his players Monday. News they learned just a few hours earlier. Minnesota high school football is back.
So I'm happy for you guys. You deserve a season, all right? And we now have to treat it with respect. So the expectations that we have in season are beginning now.
The State High School League's reversal of an August decision to move football and volleyball to spring was met with excitement here.
These kids have worked really hard, and there's just something about high school football. I think that having that chance for this season to start, I think it just kind of picks up the whole morale of the school and all the people around it. So I think it was a good move.
I was on Twitter, kept refreshing. I found out we were playing, and I kind of celebrated with my family,
A 6-game regular season schedule with a limited number of fans in the stands allowed begins on October 9th. A 2-week postseason will follow. Not a typical fall, but like all high school sports in 2020, at least it's a chance to play. Football teams had the option of doing fall training last week, several days before Monday's announcement from the league. Now these practices take on a little more meaning.
Well, I think there's more purpose behind it. I think obviously because they know they have a game, and the summer was different, so these kids probably mentally are, and so is everybody, not just us, but they're mentally farther behind than what we usually are coming into the fall.
I think most of it's just playing at game speed in practice. So when we get to the stadium and we get to Friday Night Lights, we're ready for game speed and we're ready to hit.
October 9th usually marks week 7 of the regular season in Minnesota high school football. Now it's week 1. Meeting some cold Friday nights are almost a certainty.
We've always said that Minnesota football, the teams that seem to be there at the end always are kind of those cold weather teams that can run the ball and play good defense, and there's a pretty good formula.
Volleyball practices can begin Monday the 28th. CCX Sports' Jay Wilcox got reaction from a local coach in one of the area's top programs.
After receiving disappointing news in early August about the volleyball season due to COVID-19, the mood is a lot different after Monday's vote by the State High School League to reverse course and start a fall season with practices beginning next Monday.
At first we were excited to have this little training window of 3 weeks and 12 practices, like we'll do the best we can, and then all of a sudden we get halfway through it last week and said, oh, by the way, we're going to have a new meeting next week and see we might have an actual season. So it kind of caught us off guard, but in an exciting way versus earlier in the fall when they said, by the new way, we're not going to have a season. So it's completely flipped 180 degrees as far as the emotions of things. So we're just going to go with the next week and have some fun.
Champlain Park coach John Yunker estimates that 90% of his 9th through 12th grade players are competing in fall leagues through clubs. Whether the players can finish those leagues while starting high school play isn't clear. But big picture, it's still welcome news.
It is nice that it alleviates some things. There was some concern if it was in the spring that it might conflict and how those hurdles were going to be crossed and those obstacles were going to be crossed if I was right in the middle of the JO season. So a big sigh of relief for both those things. It does leave a few more questions to be answered as far as what these next couple weeks will look like as far as finishing up some fall stuff and whatever else. But the major positives are that we have a fall season and we're excited about that, and there's not the concern about players having to choose one or the other in the spring. Would we have had a spring season?
It'll be a shorter season with a state tournament unlikely, but it's still an exciting development for local volleyball players and coaches. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Thanks, Jay. For more stories like this, plus highlights and complete game action from the fall, please visit our website at ccxmedia.org. That's all for sports. I'm John Jacobson.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.